Women become communist in college. Men become communist whenever they marry one.
I empathize with this individual because I used to be this individual. Hi, if you don't know me, my name is Grace, and I used to be in these types of circles, in the Tradwife biblical womanhood circles. I have since come out of a lot of that crap. But these ideas and the ideology behind them are not new, nor are the people behind the ideas and ideologies who are pushing them new as well. The minute I heard this video, I went and did some snooping, and I wanted to know what the influence was, and I was right on the money when I suspected it was Doug Wilson. I say this as somebody who is Presbyterian and in the PCA. There is a major problem amongst Reformed circles that are prideful, arrogant, and quite frankly overzealous. I don't know why it is specific to the denomination. I think it has something to do with the theology, but that's another topic for another day. I was also curious if she gave any information about her background and why she would be against college or just against a lot of the things that her page talks about. And there is a common theme, because I lived the same thing of you are so far from the Lord when you were in college, you were partying, you were doing things you shouldn't be doing. And then when you come to know the Lord, or when you come to have a deeper understanding of robust Christian theology that is far tiered above what is the typical evangelical non-denominational experience. So when you come from these backgrounds of a little bit of chaotic, you find safety in the high control, hyper patriarchal circles. They create a sense of safety, they create a sense of in-group mentality, and they create a sense of community, even if that is online. The things that this particular movement promises, that is, if you do XYZ, if you follow XYZ rules, you and your children will be saved. You will live a fruitful and prosperous life and receive the blessings of the Lord, which is a little bit like prosperity gospel. But because of this, there is a cage stage mentality that is really born out of zealousness and arrogance and pride, and therefore you get people like this and people like I was posting this stuff online because that is what you were fed. That is what you were spiritually nourished with through books and podcasts and watching YouTube clips and just being discipled by people online versus being discipled by your in-person pastor. There is an image to maintain within these circles. You have to be the most perfect homemaker. You have to be the most perfect mother. And if you don't attain these levels and these standards that somebody else puts on these young women, then you're just not trying hard enough. You're just not disciplined enough. You're not doing enough to meet said standards. And therefore, you're not as holy and you're not as righteous. It works for a time until you meet something where you are so exhausted and you realize there is no help and there is no rest. It comes from a place of projection because you don't feel like you are enough. Therefore, you are going to get on the internet and you are going to say all the good talking points that these groups push because that gets you brownie points. Maybe you're hearing this for the first time and you're like, I didn't know these people existed. Or maybe you are somebody in these circles and you're like, you know what? I want out. I need out because it is weighing a burden that God never put on you to carry. And if that sounds like you, my DMs are always open. I would love to talk to you about this.